tuned in now.
We are all doing interesting, exciting things at our school sites.
If he keeps hitting something, huh?
I think it's always important that we grow as educators.
The power of letting schools say, hey, we want to try something.
Trying things that are new is important. We should always be doing those things.
So what do you think is happening in this?
I think it's such a great thing that like Washington School District joined together with the foundation and created an innovation grant.
Use these numbers to make 36.
We started doing this program.
How about we add all of it together?
Comunidad Matemática, which is Spanish for math community. We noticed that there was a need to support a certain group of students who needed a little bit of additional support, and so we were thinking, what's a different way that we could approach supporting these kids?
Our focus this year is really looking into how can we make these kids feel confident, see themselves as scholars, see themselves as somebody who is capable of doing math, and seeing a purpose for math.
I don't know that they knew what it was going to be, and I'm not sure that we did either, but what it's turned into being is something that is, I think, loud and engaging and fun.
Oh, you literally added them up?
I think that they're learning and changing their perceptions of math almost in spite of themselves.
So I'd like to welcome you to the site of the future Rockwell Elementary Outdoor Education Classroom. This was the vision of one of the fourth grade teachers and I, with the idea being that with the new next generation science standards, a lot of this is hands-on and it's about scientific process. And so to get kids interacting and moving with the natural environment is going to be great. We'll have music classes out here performing, we'll have classes out here doing readers workshop performances, so it's going to be a space used by all of our students. This is going to inspire kids to learn, to be hands-on, to see that science is a real-life endeavor. This is going to be a great experience for kids, and it will positively impact 650 kids every single day.
So your job as architects today, as you're building your castles.
The Innovation Grant is passionate about learning. We're calling it our PAL grant. It is a grant to provide a time, hopefully once a week, for all students to be able to choose something that they are interested in learning more about.
Symposiums are used to...
We have students that may not be able to participate in STEM activities outside of school. So we're trying to build that into our day to where they can actually have these hands-on experiences with STEM activities that they might not get a chance to do otherwise.
We're hoping that what they're getting is a love of learning and an understanding that all of these pieces that they learn every day in school can be applied to other learning.
So instead of sitting there looking at a book or watching a video, they're actually building, they're actually using their imaginations. They're doing things that are higher level thinking, but also fun at the same time for them.
Everything shows that parent involvement in the school will just help support our students. We wrote the grant to do two things. One was to increase the parent involvement in our school, and the second one was to increase math enrichment at home for our first grade students. We have a group of parents who comes in the last Wednesday of every month to help us put together math games that go home with our first grade students. We provide busing for those parents to come in because we found that some of our parents really didn't know how to come in and volunteer, didn't know what opportunities there were at school.
Nice.
We wrote the grant to do one game for our first graders every month. But after the first time that we had parents here, we had this huge participation, and so we've actually expanded it, and every month we're now making games for kindergarten through second grade. We absolutely want to have parents come in and sort of feel like they're part of the school. We want to make sure that they are building community there, so they are meeting other families as well, and they're feeling like they're really contributing to here at Ben Rush, and they are. It has been a fabulous program that has been more successful than I could have ever thought.
The Innovation Grant, I call it STEM Symposiums. Essentially what a STEM Symposium is a science fair. We need to be innovative in the way that we approach science fairs because science is changing, the way that we learn science is changing, and we need to match all of what we do to then fit that 21st century model. And so for a traditional science fair, you've got your science board, you've got your volcano, you've got the stuff that you put in it, and then it comes out, and that's your science fair project. The volcano's been in existence for hundreds of years, and we still continue to use the same thing. The main thing that I want them to get out of it is that they can do so much more than just a board. That they can figure out what their interests are, and it could be around coding, it could be around engineering, it doesn't have to be around the scientific method. And so I want to build student interest, and I want to get kids encouraged to then think about these projects they're doing for these STEM symposiums, and then build interest towards electives in middle school. We want to push kids to go beyond what has already been done and to try new things.
We have read this story several times.
The grant was written in order to send 2 teacher leaders out to the International Literacy Association conference. We knew looking at what was offered at this particular conference was very strategic to what the goals of the district were.
I think that going to the conference was important because they were addressing equity, which is something I'm really passionate about, through literacy.
I love the strategies that we got, and it was very inspiring. There were people that had some very compelling research and also some thought-provoking statistics around literacy.
I'm seeing growth.
We went to the conference and we came back and we are sharing our knowledge and strategies with other teachers.
Staff are excited. They love the practical application. They love the fact that they have specific strategies that they can use right away with students.
It's important to always be learning from the professionals and also learning from each other about what works best.
For this grant, I'm hoping to start a horticulture program here at LW. Starting small with an urban gardening class that focuses on being able to grow and maintain crops in small and creative spaces. As you can see right now, it's not quite ready for a classroom yet. But what ultimately we'd like to have is maybe a couple more raised beds, either as big as this one, or we could even do a few smaller ones. We can use the areas that are currently concrete for container planting and container gardening. I'm excited because I feel like this is unexplored territory here at LW. We don't have any gardening programs in our CTE department yet. And I think it's really important for kids just to see, like, your food doesn't just come from the grocery store. It comes from somewhere. Someone's put love and care into the process of growing and maintaining and cultivating what you eat. And I think it would be eye-opening for kids to be able to see that and experience that.
We have teams of 4 teachers at Rush and Rose Hill and Lakeview.
You didn't ask the question what.
And they will be learning about computer science and computational thinking, and then making those leaps to then do activities with their kids.
And take a minute to discuss the 3.
We have a group activity, so we get together and work through that. It's usually learning the skills behind technology, so it's not necessarily using the technology, but learning the computational thinking that's required in order to teach the students that kind of thinking.
So when you jump, you skip a space. It's important to know the skills slightly before teaching the kids, so I can help explain it to them, but then we're all learning it together, which makes it more authentic, and it just brings our classroom community together as well.
And these are teachers that are taking their time to then go through this professional development.
Show her how to build the code.
And then work with kids on all the different things that they're learning.
So we talk a lot about grit and just try something. If it doesn't work, then try something else. So the computational thinking really says, like, if it doesn't work, just figure out what's wrong, try it again, try it again. You know, it's not a failure, it's just one step towards the right answer.
If you put it all in the same one, the energy doesn't know where to go. So
the big picture, getting kids to work collaboratively in order to problem solve, in order to think creatively.
Because like all these have different ones.
Our innovation grant is all around STEM project kits. So the idea is we build these boxes that have all the tools in them that teachers then take. They can check them out, they can use them with their class.
Benjamin picked a STEM kit. We wanted to create something that had different levels of implementation for teachers, but also we wanted STEM kits that would reach kids of all ages, different levels of experience for students. These STEM kits kind of help teachers very quickly and very easily create a learning experience that their students can kind of use in other subjects.
We want kids to have endless possibility, and these sorts of projects
the innovation that comes with them, helps kids expand their vision of what's possible for them in their future.